Imagine standing in a beautiful vineyard on a cool autumn morning. The grapevines are heavy with deep purple grapes, shining under the first rays of the sun. This is the moment every winemaker has been waiting for. After months of nurturing the vines, protecting them from diseases, and allowing the grapes to ripen perfectly, it's finally time for harvest. But making great red wine doesn't begin inside a winery, it begins right here, in the vineyard. Step 1. Grape harvest, choosing the perfect grapes. Every great bottle of red wine starts with selecting perfectly ripe grapes. Harvesting can be done in two different ways. Large commercial wineries often use harvesting machines that can collect tons of grapes within a few hours. This method is fast, efficient, and economical, making it ideal for vineyards spread across hundreds of acres. However, premium wineries often prefer hand harvesting. Skilled workers carefully inspect every bunch of grapes before picking it. Only healthy, ripe grapes are selected, while damaged or unripe ones are left behind. Although this method is slower and more expensive, it helps produce wines of exceptional quality. Many wineries even harvest grapes during the cool hours of the night or early morning. Lower temperatures keep the grapes fresh, prevent premature fermentation, and preserve delicate aromas before they reach the winery. Step 2. Crushing and destemming, releasing the juice. Once the grapes arrive at the winery, the next step is to separate the berries from their stems. This process is called destemming. The grapes are then gently crushed. Interestingly, the goal isn't to squeeze every drop of juice immediately. Instead, the grape skins are carefully broken so the juice can flow naturally without damaging the seeds. Different wineries use different techniques. Some use modern hydraulic or pneumatic presses, while a few traditional wineries still use the centuries-old method of foot pressing, where people gently crush grapes with their feet. The freshly crushed mixture of grape juice, skins, seeds, and pulp is called must. This must contains everything needed to create wine. Step 3. Fermentation, the heart of winemaking. Now begins the magical transformation. The must is transferred into large fermentation tanks made of stainless steel or wood. Inside these tanks, tiny yeast cells begin feeding on the natural sugars present in the grape juice. As they consume sugar, they produce alcohol, carbon dioxide, and hundreds of aroma compounds that give wine its personality. This is the moment when simple grape juice slowly transforms into wine. Winemakers carefully protect the must from harmful bacteria by adding a controlled amount of sulfur dioxide, sulfur dioxide. This prevents unwanted microorganisms from spoiling the wine while allowing healthy wine yeast to perform fermentation safely. Sometimes the grapes don't contain enough natural sugar to produce the desired alcohol level. In such cases, the winemaker may carefully add sugar, a practice known as chaptalization. On the other hand, if the grapes are too acidic, a small amount of acid adjustment may be carried out, known as acidification, to achieve a balanced taste. Temperature, a silent winemaker. Temperature plays an incredibly important role during fermentation. As yeast converts sugar into alcohol, heat is naturally produced. If the temperature becomes too high, delicate fruit aromas may disappear. If it's too low, fermentation may slow down or even stop. For red wines, fermentation is usually maintained between 22 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. This slightly warmer temperature allows the grape skins to release deep red pigments, tannins, and complex flavors into the wine. This is exactly why red wine gets its rich color and bold structure. Step 4. Managing the skins, building color and character. During fermentation, the grape skins naturally float to the top of the tank, forming a thick layer called the cap. If this cap is left untouched, the wine won't absorb enough color or tannins. To solve this, winemakers regularly mix the skins back into the juice using pumps, paddles, or rotating fermentation tanks. Every time the skins are mixed, they release more color, flavor, and structure into the wine. The longer the juice stays in contact with the skins, the darker and richer the final wine becomes. Fermentation continues until almost all the natural sugar has been converted into alcohol. Step 5. Pressing, separating wine from the grapes. After fermentation is complete, it's time to separate the new wine from the grape skins, seeds, and pulp. The free-flowing wine that drains naturally is called vin de goutte. This is considered the finest and most elegant portion of the wine. The remaining grape solids are then pressed to extract additional wine known as vin de presse. This wine is richer in tannins and stronger in flavor. Depending on the desired wine style, the winemaker may blend a small amount of press wine with the free-run wine. Step 6. Aging, where wine learns patience. Young wine is rarely ready to drink immediately. Instead, it is transferred into oak barrels or stainless steel tanks for maturation. Oak barrels slowly allow tiny amounts of oxygen to enter the wine. This gentle oxygen exposure softens harsh tannins and develops smoother textures. At the same time, the oak contributes beautiful aromas of vanilla, toast, spice, smoke, and roasted nuts. Over months, or even years, the wine gradually becomes more balanced, elegant, and complex. Some wineries prefer stainless steel tanks, which preserve the wine's fresh fruit flavors without adding any woody character. Blank. Step 7. Malolactic fermentation, making the wine softer. Even after the main fermentation is complete, another fascinating transformation may occur. Natural bacteria convert sharp malic acid, the same acid found in green apples, into softer lactic acid, which is commonly found in milk. This process is called malolactic fermentation. As a result, the wine becomes smoother, creamier, and less acidic, giving it a softer mouthfeel. Most premium red wines undergo this process before aging is complete. Step 8. Filtration and fining, bringing crystal clarity. Before bottling, the wine must become perfectly clear. Tiny particles of dead yeast, proteins, and grape residues are removed through filtration and fining. Natural fining agents such as egg white, gelatin, bentonite clay, or isinglass attract unwanted particles, causing them to settle at the bottom. The clear wine is then carefully transferred into another container. This step gives the wine its brilliant, sparkling appearance without affecting its quality. Step 9. Blending, creating the perfect balance. Sometimes a single batch doesn't produce the desired flavor. Winemakers carefully blend wines from different grape varieties, vineyards, vintages, or barrels to achieve perfect balance. Blending can improve color, aroma, body, acidity, tannins, and overall complexity. This stage requires years of experience because even a tiny adjustment can completely change the personality of the wine. Step 10. Bottling, the final chapter. Finally, the wine is ready for bottling. The bottles are sterilized, filled carefully, and protected from oxygen by using inert gases like nitrogen or carbon dioxide. They are then sealed using either traditional corks or modern screw caps. After labeling, some wines are released immediately, while premium wines continue aging inside the bottle for months or even years before reaching wine lovers around the world. Carbonic maceration, a different way to make red wine. Not every red wine follows the traditional process. In carbonic maceration, whole grape bunches are placed inside sealed tanks filled with carbon dioxide. Since oxygen is absent, each grape begins fermenting from the inside. Eventually, the grapes burst naturally, producing wines that are light-bodied, fruity, aromatic, and low in tannins. This unique technique is famously used to produce wines from the Gamay grape, especially the fresh and youthful Beaujolais wines of France. From a tiny grape growing under the sun to a beautifully aged bottle enjoyed around the world, every step in red winemaking is a perfect blend of nature, science, patience, and craftsmanship. Every decision made by the winemaker shapes the wine's color, aroma, flavor, texture, and character, making every bottle tell a story of its own. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and share.